If you work in tech and are thinking about relocating to New Zealand but don't know where to start, this video is for you. Let me show you what you need to relocate to New Zealand and where to find a job in tech with a company willing to relocate you. 2 things: strong technical skills and a good level of English. You have to be good at what you do to call the company's attention and to be considered for their opportunities. And you need a good level of English to go through each step of the process. Now, what do I mean by a good level of English? By a good level of English, I mean being able to keep a fluent conversation. And by fluent, I mean without struggles, without you making the other person struggle to understand what you say, and without you struggling to understand what you're told. And that usually happens at an intermediate or upper intermediate level. So, without strong technical skills and a good level of English, then relocating to New Zealand can stay in the just a dream category. But if you have strong technical skills and a good level of English, you can make the dream of relocating to New Zealand a reality. Where to find a job? At the Pitcheers marketplace. There you can find job offers from many companies in different parts of the world, but most of them are in New Zealand. You have filters so you can easily search for jobs, and as you can see, job titles, seniority, technology, and here you can see many different kinds of jobs. And then if you see one that you like, let's say this one, when you click on it, you will see a job description. You will see a list of the things that you need to have in order to apply for that job. You will also see a list of things that are nice to have but that are not a requirement, some information about the company and so on. And then on the right you will see the name of the connector that is in charge of that job offer. So if you're interested, you can just book a chat with them to talk about the opportunity. As you can see, everything is in English, which illustrates my point. English is a must when it comes to finding a job in tech abroad right from the beginning. Now, why do I recommend the Pitcheers marketplace? Because there you will find real people willing to talk to you. It's not about sending an application to who knows where without the certainty that someone will even read it and maybe never hearing back and not knowing why. No. Pitcheers is all about the human connection, about walking this journey with you. So don't be afraid of contacting the connectors. They are there to help you. If you identify gaps in your knowledge when you read the job descriptions, upskill. And that involves polishing up your English skills until you're able to keep a fluent conversation in English. You won't read good level of English in the job descriptions because it is obvious. Companies expect you to have a good level of English. Companies expect you to communicate well. If your application is successful, you will have interviews with the company. And can you survive these interviews with basic English? Yes, of course, but you don't want to survive. You want to thrive. You want to be able to talk about all the things that you know. You want to explain how you worked on different projects. You want to answer their questions fully. You want to show your personality. It's too complicated to communicate all you know and who you are with just basic English. And don't forget this. The interview is just a tiny dot in the timeline of your working life. If you start working for this company, then your everyday life will be in English. You will need to constantly communicate with your team. You will need to do many things. For example, you will need to understand what you're asked to do, ask questions, participate in meetings, explain what you did and why you took certain decisions, help your teammates. Think about the conversations that you have at work now in your mother tongue. Are you able to have the same kind of conversations with the same level of detail in English? You need to be able to keep a fluent conversation in English, period. What does relocation involve? It involves many things. It involves gathering and submitting paperwork to immigration, talking to an immigration advisor, talking to the immigration officer at the airport, renting a house, buying a car, getting your services like power, internet. And for all of that, you need English. Again, I will ask you the same question. Can you survive with basic English. Well, yes, but you don't want to survive, you want to thrive. It's so much easier and everything flows more smoothly if you do these things with good English. Let me put it this way. If you want to climb a mountain, would you wear flip-flops? Well, no, that would not be your first choice. You could, but everything would be more difficult and more painful than if you wore trekking shoes. It's clear, right? So if you wouldn't wear flip-flops to climb a mountain, why would you move to an English-speaking country to work a professional job in which communication is very important, which is basic English? That would be like wearing flip-flops to climb a mountain. So no, my suggestion, my advice is don't wear flip-flops. Don't come with just basic English. Come with your trekking shoes. Come with strong English skills. To make your new home feel like home, you have to build relationships. New Zealand is a cosmopolitan city, and here you will find people from many countries and you will have to get used to many different accents. And what's the challenge? Well, the first challenge I think is not to hang out only with people who speak your language. When you are far away from your country and you meet people from your country, you want to talk to them, and it's like the cultural bond strengthens. But that would make you miss out the opportunity of building relationships with people from other countries. And also another challenge is talking about everyday life, stuff that has not to do with work. If you work in tech, chances are that you feel pretty confident talking about technical things. But when it comes to talking about what you did last weekend, the football match that you watched yesterday, or the news everyone is talking about, you struggle to participate. Maybe don't say anything because you don't know how to say it, or you don't want to feel embarrassed, and you're just quiet and miss out on the opportunity to show who you are and what you know, and that's not how you build relationships, let me tell you. New Zealand is one of the best countries in the world to live. Go ahead and Google lists of the best countries in the world. Which countries have the best quality of life, are the safest, the happiest, the most beautiful? New Zealand is on every list. There are dozens of benefits of living in New Zealand, but let me focus on the ones that have to do with work. So there's a great work-life balance here. New Zealanders work. I'm not saying they're lazy at all, no. They work, but they take their free time seriously. They take leisure time seriously. I'm not talking about finishing work and sitting on the couch to watch Netflix. No, you will see them running, walking the dog, hiking, trekking, kayaking, paddleboarding, kite surfing. They are very active people. It's really inspiring and it's a pleasure to see. No matter how old they are very active. So they don't live to work like it happens in many countries. No, it's just work is one aspect of their lives. Work does not dominate their entire lives. So they work, but they also enjoy their free time. They're very active, seriously. And also, something that I find that's a huge benefit is that after you've worked for the same company for 1 year, you get 4 weeks holiday. It's amazing. So remember, at Pitcheers you can not only find job opportunities in tech available in New Zealand, but also find people willing to walk this journey with you. That was it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video and see you next time. Bye!